गुड इवनिंग। जो बैकग्राउंड तो पहले अच्छा है।
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, this
गुड
side.
इवनिंग।
છે મારું મોડું ચાલ્યું છે. ઓકે,
सर आवाज नहीं आ रहा है सर आपका।
हाँ, आवाज कम है।
મારો અવાજ નથી આવતો.
Yeah, now it's coming.
थोड़ो धीरो आवे છે।
Samir Shah sir, good evening sir.
गुड इवनिंग गुड इवनिंग। इसका रिकॉर्डिंग हो जाएगा तो अपने वो डीआईपी प्लेटफॉर्म पे दिखेगा। कैसे दिखेगा अपने को ये बाद में? डीजी
सर
ऐप पे?
आपको मैं आपको दे दूंगा, लिंक दे दूंगा।
ठीक है,
आपको
Sure.
डीजी का भी दे दूंगा और आपको वीडियो भी दे दूंगा।
चलेगा, परफेक्ट।
तो ठीक है।
હેલો,
સમીર ભાઈ, હું ડાઉનલોડ કરી રાખું પેલા સીવી કે છે તમારી પાસે, તમે કરશો ને ડિસ્પ્લે?
ના કરતા હું તમને
ઓકે,
મોકલું છું તે કરજો ડાઉનલોડ એક છતાં બી હમણાં મોકલું છું તે।
અચ્છા, ઓકે, તો હું કરી લઉં।
सर सबको एक्सेस दिया है। एनीबडी कैन शेयर द स्क्रीन एंड शेयर द पीपीटी।
ओके,
किसको होस्ट बनाना है बता दो।
होस्ट आप डॉक्टर समीर शाह को और मुझे बना दीजिए।
आपको होस्ट बनाता हूँ, फिर संदीप किसको? संदीप
डॉक्टर समीर शाह।
समीर शाह सर को। अच्छा, हाँ, उनको
समीर
होस्ट बना
समीर
देता हूँ।
शाह।
हाँ ठीक।
हाँ,
नहीं अभी आप अभी आप होस्ट बन जाओ क्योंकि मैं शेयर स्क्रीन करूंगा ना, तो
कोई
अगर जो मैं होस्ट बनता हूँ तो वो लोचा हो जाएगा।
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मैडम को बना देता होस्ट और
हम्म,
आपको को होस्ट बना देता हूँ।
हम्म,
હેલો, મારો અવાજ આવે છે?
यस यस,
हाँ,
સમીરભાઈ
क्लियर
ક્લિયર
क्लियर
ક્લિયર
क्लियर,
છે
एकदम क्लियर।
છે ને? ફાઇન.
Hello everyone, good evening.
गुड
Good
इवनिंग
evening,
मैडम।
गुड
શિલ્પાબેન.
इवनिंग शिल्पाबेन, કેમ છો?
નેલબેન તમને મોકલ્યું મેં।
હા, બસ હું કરી લઉં ડાઉનલોડ।
કે તમે તમારા સ્ક્રીન શેર કરીને ચેક કરવો તો કરી લેજો એક વખત।
હા, એવું કર.
એકવાર ચેક કરી લો ને।
દેખાય છે ધુરંધર બધાને?
હા દેખાય છે.
સ્ક્રીન શેર કરી લેજે, સોરી આખું સ્લાઇડ શેર.
હા સ્લાઇડ શેર અને
બરાબર છે.
ઓકે,
યા
સ્ટોપ શેર કરું છું.
હા
હા
હું બી શેર કરીને જોઈ લઉં.
હા એ જ એકવાર શેર કરી લો. યસ વિઝિબલ. હમ
Isha ma'am has joined. Isha ma'am, good evening.
ગુડ ઇવનિંગ.
ઈશાબેન.
કેમ છો? ગુડ ઇવનિંગ.
એકવાર ચાલુ કરો.
જાગે છે મને. જાગે છે. અંદર લઈને બેસી ગયા. ઓપ્શન શેર લડે તો મ્યુટ કરી દઈશું. એમને કહી દે.
Hello, good evening.
ગુડ ઇવનિંગ સર.
Good evening.
Hello,
Satish
sir.
bhai.
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. We are all here.
યસ.
Nima madam આવ્યા? Nima madam છે.
Yeah, only she is remaining.
હા ઓકે સર. વિડીયો સેટિંગ્સ જોઈ લઉં છું કેવું નથી. પાછળ બ્લર બેકગ્રાઉન્ડ છે ને એટલે વાંધો નહીં આવે. વેલકમ પિયાલી મેમ.
Hello. All well?
હેલો મેમ. ઓલ વેલ
Hello,
મેમ.
ma'am. Good
વેલકમ
evening.
મેમ.
Hello.
Very good
Sir.
evening to all of you.
Good evening, Susma
Good
and Dr.
evening.
Kyali.
Good
Good evening.
Hello,
Evening,
Sushma
Satish
ma'am. Good
bhai,
evening.
Kyali ma'am.
Sir, Satish sir.
Ketan,
Sushma
Samir Bhai,
Bain,
Ketan
Snehal
bhai.
Ben.
Payali ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good to see
Snehal, I can't
you.
see you.
Yes,
Yeah, I just opened the video, ma'am.
Ah, there she is. Hello.
Snehal Bhai, and
Satish,
bear with
bolo.
me if I'm not able to open video for a short period of time. Maybe if I get a good stable connection, I'll definitely open it. So let me be as I am right now to get at least a steady connection.
No problem, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nehal, you were talking about testing the screen sharing. If you want, no, this is the time because only 4 minutes are left for us to go.
So it is already done.
તમે સર્વિસ સર કરી લીધું હા મેં ચેક કર્યું છે.
થઈ ગયું? Okay,
હા.
that's
Yes, sir.
okay. Before I joined, probably you
હમ.
checked it. Good.
તો ભૂપેન્દ્ર બાકી છે ને?
શું છે આપણે પકડી દેતી માઇક્રોબેલ માઇક્રો
નીમાબેન ને સ્નેહલબેન એક જ ફોન કરીને ઇન્ફોર્મ.
હા, હું કરું કોલ
હા
એમને.
સમીરભાઈ મેં હમણાં જ કર્યું એમને કોલ એ બસ જોઈન કરે જ છે.
હા થઈ ગયા થઈ
ઓકે.
ગયા જોઈ.
હા.
ઓકે.
સમીરભાઈ ચાલુ કરવું જોઈએ?
Sir, 2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes remaining.
અચ્છા સારું.
In 2 minutes. ઓહો, સમીરભાઈ તમારું તો બેકગ્રાઉન્ડ મસ્ત છે.
મૂકવું પડે ને થીમ બેઝ.
કેવું પડે હા સમીરભાઈ કેવું પડે ઇમ્પ્રેસ
હા, એ જ.
ઇમ્પ્રેસ મૂડ આવી ગયો માહોલ બના દિયા માહોલ.
True.
હજુ તમારા સીવી જોશો એટલે તમારો વધારે માહોલ બનશે. Bhupendra, good evening.
ગુડ ઇવનિંગ સર.
અચ્છા ભૂપેન્દ્રથી જોઈન થવાયું સરસ. ગુડ ઇવનિંગ.
ગુડ ઇવનિંગ મેડમ. બસ માઉન્ટેન સિકનેસ ચાલે છે.
હા અવાજ ઢીલો છે લાગે જ છે.
થોડું
કઈ કઈ વાંધો નહીં.
SpO2
ઊંઘતો
થોડું down હતું. એટલે ઓક્સિજન
ઊંઘતો સાંભળજો.
હા
ક્યાં છો ભૂપેન્દ્રભાઈ હમણાં?
સોરી
ભૂપેન્દ્રભાઈ
મેડમ.
ક્યાં છો?
હા
ક્યાં છો એમ કહું
સિક્કિમ
કે માઉન્ટ
સિક્કિમ
હમ
સિક્કિમ મેડમ.
સિક્કિમમાં છો? ચાલો
હા
સરસ. ડેડિકેટેડ સેક્રેટરી ઓફ ગુજરાત એ છે.
અરે
અને માઉન્ટેન સિકનેસ કીધું એનું બધું કિલીમાંજારો હશે તો.
ના સર એવું નથી.
તો કિલીમાંજારો પરનું પછી સોંગ બી આપણે એને ગવડાવીએ.
Sorry, yeah, the other audience, some of them are non-Gujaratis also. So,
સમીરભાઈ ચાલુ કરીએ.
Yes, yes,
ચાલો
fine.
કરીએ.
Yes, Neilbet. Start with you.
Okay. Welcome everyone and good evening to one and all. Today's topic is different, but so much needed. Who knows it? Our thoughts, behavior, and concept get modified with the books we read, the posts we see, and the people with whom we interact. Similarly, movies, serials, and the web series have similar impact on our life. It's all the more important to understand its impact on adolescents' brain and their lifestyle since their brain is still maturing. Overactive emotional brain and less mature thinking brain brings more complexity. Let us learn from our esteemed experts and panel how movies and media affect teenagers, holistic health, and what's our role as an important stakeholder. Over to you, Samir Bhai, for the further proceedings. Thank you.
So, dear friends, very good evening and welcome to the one more webinar episode of the our CRISP webinar series. That is the our every third Thursday monthly webinar series comprising of the CRISP, that is the comprehensive care, resilience, inclusion and identity, skill building, psychological well-being, and ultimately holistic human approach of the adolescent health. And our main approach, and that basically is related to the daily affairs of the all the problems related with the adolescent health. We all already discussing many topics related to adolescent health, but in this series we are mainly focused in such type of the topic which is less touched by the many people, such type of the discussion. And also during this type of the discussion we know many things but confuse many things, and how to approach ultimately with the help of the scientific evidence. And that is the our main aim and objective of this webinar series. This episode 2 mainly based on the cinema and serials, cultivating and curating the adolescent's mind, manner, and health. And that's already the, very well informed things will be given by our chairperson, Dr. Nihal Sirola, madam. So now let's begin our journey with our cinematic presentation of the our faculty introduction, starting from the our two experts. One is the Dr. Sushma Pankaj Desai, madam. She is the consultant pediatrician and adolescent physician at the Gopi Children Hospital and Tarun Adolescent Healthcare Center, Surat, Gujarat. And at presently, she is the National Adolescent Health Academy of IAP chairperson. She is the founder chairperson of the EHA Gujarat State and EHA Surat also, and she was the honorary secretary EHA IAP in between 2020 and 21, and EB member of the EHA also. She is an excellent contributor in the different scientific modules of the IAP and EHA, and also contributed a lot in books and publications related to adolescent health. Our second expert is Dr. Piyali Bhattacharya, madam. She is the consultant pediatrician from the Lucknow at the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Science. She has awarded the fellowship of the Royal College in London in 2019 and also the fellowship of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics. Almost audited 8 orations CS awarded, and also state award of the UPIAP every year from 32 to 37, again in 39 in UP Padicom. And she has also a lot publications in the different journals, including the national and international publications. Our today's moderator, the main role player, Dr. Ketan Shah, is from the Surat, and he is the organizing secretary of the National Pediatric Rheumatology Conference in 2006. Is a member of the EOP Gujarat and NNF Gujarat and ID chapter, and of course the AHA Gujarat also. National Secretary of the Rheumatology Chapter and President of IAP Surat in 2000. He written a chapter in the Pediatric Rheumatology book and different other books also. And he is the recipient of the Excellence in the Child Care by the Government of Gujarat in 2029 and published a book of the interesting and challenging case in the pediatric, being a chief editor in 2023. Our a very senior pediatrician, Dr. Satish Pandya, is one of the panelists today, and he is the consultant pediatrician and adolescent expert and counselor at Varun Children Hospital at Vadodara. His basic area of interest mainly in the adolescent counseling, ID and vaccinology, asthma promotion, and rational therapy, digital technology in clinical practice. And he also held a various positions in the national and state level at different places in the IAP and other organizations. He is also having the few faculty and oration and trainer in the contributor in the many places. He has very for many publications also, and almost doing it more than 200 sessions for the parents, adolescents, and teachers as a community work. He himself is the REBT teacher and teaching the postgraduate student in the faculty of the Education and Psychology Department at MS University, Vadodara. And he is also the receiver of the Fellows of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics. Our next panelist is Dr. Nima Sitapara. She is the adolescent practitioner and specialist and counselor at the Ma Sarda Children Care Hospital, Rajkot, Gujarat. She has also getting the Best Individual Awareness Activity Award by National Adolescent Health Academy in 2 consecutive years in 2016 and 17. And she has getting the Best Female Icon in Social Service by IMA Rajkot in 2015. Our one more faculty from the Anjar Kutch, Dr. Silpa Tosniwal. She is the MD Pediatrics and also certified in the Child and Adolescent Psychology and PGDAP. She is the Secretary of the AHA Kutch in 2023 and 24 and author in the Teacher Training Module of the Adolescent in 2019. Recognized from the IMA Kutch as an adolescent sessions and spreading awareness in school and colleges, and award from the Maheshwari Samaj Gujarat for online sessions on adolescence. Today we have one excellent invited faculty, that is Miss Isha Dedewala. She is a poet, journalist, editor and actor. Leading journalist in the Divya Bhaskar, and her article is coming regularly in Divya Bhaskar every Tuesday. She is single mother with the IVF born twin babies, very reforming social decision taker, and she has a many poetry book on her name. Few of them is the Vartaro, Janmaro, Kya Gai, E Chokri are the few of them. She is the recipient of the Sahitya Akademi Yuva Puraskar, Yuva Gaurav Award, and Sisi Mehta Best Actress Award also. So with this galaxy of the faculty, now I handing over to our moderator, Dr. Ketan Shah, for our second episodes on the cinema and serial, cultivating and curating the adolescent mind, matter and health. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Samir Bhai. Respected Dr. Sushma Bin, Dr. Piyali ma'am, Dr. Snehal ma'am, Dr. Bhupendra, and all my senior and respected panelists. I am the youngest, less learned adolescent academy member, Dr. Satish Pandya sir, Sushma Madam, Shilpa Madam, and the very dashing and dynamic Esha Dadawala is with us. She is a leading journalist in Divya Bhaskar, and her article you all might have read also. So many reforming decisions she writes into the column also. So I hope the viewer would be able to enjoy the session. Let me just start the session. So at present, in a given days, when you talk of any movie and the first name come is Dhurandhar. Hamza, Rehman Malik, S.P. Chaudhary, and Malik. These all four figures are in the mind of all adolescents. And every wedding occasion, every music, you can see the Rehman Malik dancing in all age group. Such a powerful influencing media is cinema. Look at the style of hair or hairstyle of Hamza or a Ranveer Singh, and majority of the adolescents are driven by these hairstyle. Lot of impact. You are not ready for this. Has become the synonymous in the community of adolescent. This is from the part 2, and after hearing this sound, all violence comes into the movie. So these are very important points. So when we talk of cinemas, mobile reels, and web series, they have significant influence in the society. It could be adolescent, it could be elderly person, or even it could be a young child of 2 to 3 years also. We can be knowing how, when, and what. How does it cultivate the brain of adolescent? How does it curate? Curate is cutting edge of the brain. How does it change the mind? And how does it change the health of the adolescent? A very good article about the social media, movies, and reels had came into Indian pediatrics a long back, 2010, 21st November, volume 47. And the whole article was on effect of electronic media on children and its perspective. This article do mention about the movies and its impact. And these points we are going to discuss out in subsequent sessions. Education and awareness in society, that movie can do, social changes, perspective of life, understanding of diverse culture, social bonding, stress booster or buster, creative, cognitive development. These are the positive impact. We'll be taking each one. The negative impact is violence, reduced productivity, behavioral problems, attitude, food habits and obesity, and unrealistic expectations. So let us start with a very simple case scenario. Rihan had came to me at the age of 12 years, came with insight of becoming astrology scientist. Suddenly, he came and told me, Ketan uncle, I'm going to be an astro scientist. Aishni, 13 years, she want to do something for the country. And when I inquired, she told me, sir, mujhe to Jhansi ki Rani banna hai. So these are the two classical example. Dr. Satish, sir, how do
Yes.
these we interpret in our clinical practice? Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Gaha. Thank you, Dr. Ketan Bhai, and thank you, Samir Bhai, for excellent introduction in a novel way. So when we talk about impact of media, and it's good that Ketan Bhai is starting with what are the good impacts of media. Can I have the slide? Yeah. So the issue here what we are trying to discuss is what are the positive impacts of movies, because we all the while talk about negative impact, negative impact, negative impact, and there is so many of them. But it is good to start such a discussion on some positivity. So there are many positive impacts. There are several of them. And always there is a very lingering debate about society cinema axis. Since our childhood, I have been reading in various articles, newspaper, etc. This debate is always going on whether cinema mirrors the society or it molds the society. I mean, so well said, mirrors or molds. And we have a journalist with us, so she will be, taking her own stand on this. But there is a balance here. I mean, if you look at our times when we were very young in the 60s, 70s, 80s, no, we always thought that no, whatever no moral values that we learnt were more from the cinema, of course, from the family. But this time, in this recent no years or decades, things have changed because cinema has gone far beyond what it usually used to reflect society. Like say Raj Kapoor, you talk about, he would talk about poverty and social haves and have-nots. Then there was Young Angry Men image, and then romance and all that. So there are decades of what was happening in the society. Now it is no longer. So it's all messed up. So cinema does not necessarily no reflect what is happening in the society. At the same time, we cannot say that it doesn't mold the adolescent mind, because adolescence, as you we all know, it's a brain in progress, work in progress. So and they are very impressionable. So I would definitely agree with the statement that cinema does have a big role in molding the adolescent mind. So with that thing in background, the impacts are multi-layered. It's not only about adolescent, it's about other stakeholders also. It's impacting we as pediatrician, as parents, as teachers. We are all exposed to this media, and impact on us are also equally important. There are many issues, but I would focus on few issues because other co-panelists will take up other issues. Talking about awareness leading to reforms about certain burning issues in the society. Like, we now talk about, from a pediatrician's perspective, from adolescent perspective. So it's about neurodevelopmental disorders, toxic masculinity, which is happening in the society, what you read in the newspaper, then misogyny, mental health, relationship, resilience. I mean, if we look at these cinemas, these issues are brought out very well. Then there are educational inputs in a fun way, like science, history, sports, and several TV shows and serials are very educative. Like I remember my days of seeing 2001 A Space Odyssey. That was way back in, I think, 70s or 80s that I had seen this movie, and mind-boggling. I mean, what some of the directors or the producers can foresee the future in terms of scientific fiction. Then sci-fi movies can ignite sparks in the young mind, like what Dr. Ketan just now talked about, one girl talking about becoming an astronaut or something. Next slide, please. So let us talk about some examples. Can I have the next slide? Yes. So these are very well-known movies, very well-known. No, I mean we can immediately relate to these movies. Most of us have seen these movies. One movie on the right side, that is no, Tanvi the Great, probably has gone unnoticed, I would say, because last time when I talked to our panelists, none of them had seen. But there are many more examples. Next slide, please. So what I have tried to do here is, we are talking about positive impact. So I have put certain movies and the messages that we learn. Like if we take up neurodevelopmental conditions, then My Name is Khan, an ASD, an adult ASD or Asperger's syndrome. Burfi so well, depicted the ASD and social communication. Tare Zameen Par was an epic. I mean, whenever I talk about Tare Zameen Par to the parents, I say, see the movie again. Apart from specific learning disability, it had a lot of lessons for parenting also. Then Hitchki depicting Tourette syndrome, Tanvi the Great, adult autism. I would recommend to the audience that those who are not seen, look at it. I mean, we deal with kids with ASD, but what happens to them in their adulthood? This movie, very well highlights then adult autism. Then Sitare Zameen Par depicting intellectual disability, Koi Mil Gaya, मैं ऐसा ही हूँ, like intellectual disability. Kabir Singh, O Romeo, Animal, Thappad. No, they both ways highlighted what is toxic masculinity and misogyny, and at the same time did offer some of the solutions to that. Dear Zingi was a classic movie on how the counseling is being done. Black, Pink, giving a message, no means no, so how to withstand the peer pressure. Then defining romantic relations. I mean, these are the issues we come across among adolescents and young adults. So Sayara, DDLJ, they are all movies which, I mean, we as pediatricians can see and predict analyze them in our own way. And of course, I cannot finish my talk about this without mentioning the adolescent web series. I mean, it was an epic. There was a lot of discussion when it came, and there was a good discussion under the heading of Samvad in Nimhans. Those who have not seen it, it can be still be available on the Nimhans website or YouTube. So look at it. It teaches a lot of things about adolescence. So these are so many positive impacts of movies and serials and cinema, our adolescent minds. Thank you, Ketan bhai.
So your voice is not coming.
Unmute.
Whose voice? Ketan bhai's?
Yeah, Ketan bhai.
हाँ
Ketan bhai.
केतन भाई
Okay, okay.
केतन भाई वॉइस નથી આપતો.
I think he's having some problem with the audio.
Hello.
Yeah,
Ah, now
Ketan,
it's
now we
coming.
can hear.
Hello.
We can hear you, Ketan bhai.
No, no. Again, voice gone.
Hello.
Yeah, continue. Ketan bhai, voice gone again.
હવે આવે છે? Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Over to you, Aisha ma'am. Would you like to add something beyond this thought process? How does the movie impact the adolescent? Aisha ma'am.
सबसे पहले तो थैंक यू केतन भाई, मुझे आपने ये मंच दिया. आप सभी मेरे सामने जो है रिस्पेक्टेड पीडियाट्रिशियन
Madam, I think your voice is not audible. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है आयशा मैम.
No, madam, still voice. You have to unmute again.
यस ओके. आप सब मेरे सामने जो बैठे रिस्पेक्टेड पीडियाट्रिशियंस है, एडोलेसेंट काउंसलर्स है, तो आप सभी को मैं वंदन करती हूँ. आप सब इस विषय पे साइंटिफिक एविडेंस के साथ बात करेंगे. मैं अपनी बात इमोशनल एविडेंस से रखना चाहती हूँ. अब तक जब मैं ये इस विषय पर बात करती थी तो मैं एक लेखक की ओर से, एक वक्ता की ओर से बात करती थी, पर अब जब मैं 2 बच्चियों की माँ हूँ,
मैडम आपका नेट बार बार जा रहा है. You just switch off your video, so it become increase your strength. Still, madam, not able to hear you. Ketan bhai, we can take her opinion in the next question. Let's continue.
Sure. Aisha ma'am, we'll just go ahead. Are you there, ma'am? We just go ahead, and once she join, she can take up these questions. We move ahead. Aisha ma'am, are you there? Your voice is not clear. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
Ketan,
we can
take up
continue.
another question and move ahead.
Okay.
Ketan.
We were just discussing about the positive point. Now let us discuss about how does these medium affect emotional regulation. We would like to again hear from Satish Pandya sir. Sir, in a short, would you explain how does the emotional regulation is mediated and affected by the cinemas or movies?
Right.
Over to you, Satish sir.
So this is very important because we all who deal with adolescents know that the neurobiology of adolescent brain is such that it sort of predisposes them to a lot of uh, things which can very easily impress their mind, because it's a, as I said, work in progress there, where the feeling brain is and reward centers are running very at a very high level, whereas the control of emotions, which is a prefrontal cortex responsibility, has not matured. So there is a developmental mismatch, and which explains the vulnerability of adolescent behavior. And here the cinema, serials, etc., affect that impressionable mind to a great extent. And there are various issues like, say, romantic relations. We do get 14-year, 15-year-old adolescents coming with depression symptoms and other anxiety, etc. And if you go deep into their heads screening, we'll find that there are breakups. There are series of breakups. I mean, I got a 15-year-old girl who has 2-3 breakups in last 6 months. I mean, imagine the kind of psychological turmoil these kids go. So there are crushes, healthy versus unhealthy relationships, abusive and toxic relationship, jealousy. All these movies like Sayyara, Jab We Met and others, they do come out with these issues, and there are certain, I mean, lessons, and there are certain misguiding facts also. So when they see a movie with a breakup, say Jab We Met, they can relate with them, because children, our kids, they don't just see the movies for entertainment. They connect with the characters. They internalize the emotional, aspects of the behavior of the characters in the movie. And like say they feel validated. If there is a breakup and the heroine behaves in a particular way, they feel validated. Okay, this is happening to others also, so it is happening to me. Then conflicts with parents, law, and society also is depicted by many movies, and children try to correlate with them or connect with that. And there are two sides of this coin. They can either extract good learnings or may get drawn into negative thoughts. So, what ultimately requires is a healthy, meaningful, and non judgmental critical analysis on part of us, so that we can actually share that with parents and kids also. So, a mature parent or friend or a pediatrician or counselor can be the leading person to decode what they are seeing in the cinema and serials. So, that is about emotional regulation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish Bhai. And this is a very common issue. See, once you see in the OPD, any adolescent or even 9, 10 years child would come to your OPD. And if he is a little bit hyperactive, he would come with the Dhurandhar movie style, or either he may come with Shah Rukh Khan style and would start talking to you in that way. So emotional regulation, and even in the OPD, their outburst, we can very well
मार्कस
visualize.
ऑरेलियस ने बताया था कि
So again, Esha ma'am, are you there?
yes.
So we'll just take this question. How does it change the perspective of life? When you get an adolescent, their thinking, उनकी जो बातें सोचनी समझनी, उसमें कैसे फर्क महसूस कर पाएंगे? Over to you, ma'am.
मैं अपने किस्से शेयर करना चाहूंगी। अभी मैं 2 बच्चियों की माँ हूँ, और अभी मेरे घर का एक फर्नीचर चल रहा है। तो मेरी मम्मी ने मुझे बोला कि बेटियों के रूम में हम टीवी नहीं रखेंगे। तो मुझे मेरा अपना बचपन याद आया। जब मैं छोटी थी, टीन एज में थी, तब हसरतें सीरियल आई थी, जो एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल रिलेशन बेस्ड थी, और मेरी माँ ने मुझे बोला था कि ये सीरियल तुम्हें नहीं देखना है। तो मुझे याद है कि मैं अपनी सहेली के घर पे जाकर ये हसरतें के सारे एपिसोड्स देखती थी। तो जब मेरी माँ ने ऐसा बोला कि टीवी बच्चियों के रूम में नहीं रखेंगे, तब मुझे ऐसा हुआ कि जैसे मैंने किया वैसा ही मेरी अगर बच्चियां करेंगी तो क्या होगा। मार्कस ओरेलियस ने कहा था कि कोई भी क्रांति है वो आपके मूलभूत स्वभाव को चेंज नहीं कर सकती, बदल नहीं सकती है। क्रोध, ईर्ष्या, ये सब हमारे मूलभूत स्वभाव है। तो मुझे लगता है कि फिल्म का ना तो अच्छा असर हो सकेगा या ना तो बुरा असर हो सकेगा, यदि हम उसको डिसिप्लिन से कंट्रोल में करना सीख ले। जब भी बारिश होती है और जमीन में से एक फूल निकलता है, तो हम किसको दोष देंगे? बारिश को देंगे या जमीन को देंगे? जमीन में कुछ था, इसीलिए वहां से एक अंकुर फूट के निकल कर आया है। तो जब मैं टीन एज में थी, तो फिल्मों की वजह से मुझको लगता था कि खूबसूरती अगर वाइट कलर में ही होती है, तो मैं अपने आप को बहुत इंफीरियर फील करती थी। उस समय पे फेयर एंड लवली की एडवर्टाइजमेंट बहुत चलती थी। तो मुझे याद है कि मेरे स्कूल में एक लड़के ने मुझे फेयर एंड लवली गिफ्ट किया था। तो ये फिल्म की एडवर्टाइजमेंट की दिमाग पे असर थी। मुझे लगता है कि जब भी हम उसको डिसिप्लिन
I guess we
Madam,
lost the
again,
connect.
your voice is not there.
No. So, she suddenly unmuted. You have to unmute. ऐसा you have to unmute.
You have to unmute yourself, Esha. Not yet. Unmute. You have to unmute yourself. No, not yet.
Samir bhai, can we do that from our side?
Snehalben કરી શકશે. Snehalben, please do that. You are host. Snehalben,
કરી દો. Just a minute. I was
Yeah.
just searching her name.
you are make me host. I will do this remaining thing.
Yeah. I made you host.
Okay.
ઈશા મેડમ દેખાતા જ નથી. I guess.
She just lost. She lost the connection again. Yeah.
She
Sir,
just lost
continue.
the connection. You can go ahead.
Ketan bhai, continue. Sir.
Go
Ketan bhai.
ahead. We'll take another question. When you see the different varieties of moving, which may be from North India, South India, or even from some Bollywood films, we came across a various diverse culture. I'll request to highlight on how does the movie impact the various cultures. Over to you, Shilpa ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Yes, our adolescents are naturally curious and they are influenced by the visual storytelling. And this screen media becomes an engaging window to the world. They are exposed to different culture, different lifestyle, caste, languages through movies, through South movies, Tollywood, Bollywood, and Gollywood. And if I give some examples, like these movies help them to build an empathy and understanding by seeing challenges of some real life heroes in movies like Sam Bahadur, Uri, etc. Also, these movies help them to get motivated. Yes, movies like 12th Fail, they highlight the importance of perseverance. Then some, I would say, stereotypes are broken. Stereotypes of our society by movies like Dangal and Sand Ki Aankh, where it is shown that women from such small backgrounds, such small towns, through their dedication and hard work, can do wonders. Then also through some series, the culture of the towns like Kota and series like Half CA, they show the hardships of these exams to our students, and then they also get inspired for giving these exams. Then there are movies like Rang De Basanti, which encourage our youth to share their voice. Yes, and even some topics in the society which have a social taboo, like menstruation, when these are shown in the movie, like Padman movie, so it helps to open up a discussion in the society. So, in this way, I would say that through movies, our adolescents, our children get exposed to different culture of our country and also of abroad. And then they get to learn about these things sitting at their home.
Thank you, Shilpa ma'am. Very nicely elaborated very minor points like Padman, which has definitely revolutionized the concept of menstrual hygiene. The varieties of culture, like you look at the Ram Leela movie, the Gujarati Garba, Hillaru movie, where the Gujarati Garba has been highlighted. Same way, various regional movie would throw a light on what is a real culture of that village, that town, or maybe that state also. So these will give an insight to all adolescent what exactly do we mean by culture. There is certain important issues also like cultural preservation. Shilpa ma'am, would you like to add further in this part?
Yes, sir. Through these movies, children they get to know about the joint family environment, because nowadays many of the households are having nuclear family. So the importance of relationships, That is also highlighted through these movies. The different ways in which, the colorful culture of our society is shown in the movies, the different customs and traditions that also our children come to know.
Even the social responsibility can be judged by looking at the movie, the father and adolescent relationship, father and daughter relationship, father and mother relationship. Everything can be very well elaborated in good movie. The wedding culture is also there. In the Western, the wedding culture is totally different. In India, we have a different days for wedding, and each things like Grashanti, Bharat, Fera, they would have some meaning, and that can be learned through the various movies also. Now, over to you, Nima ma'am. How does these movie culture improves the social bonding? Can you highlight on that? Over to you,
Yes,
Nima.
good evening, everybody. Social bonding surely can be improved with movies and serials that is watched together, provided they are watched together. This is the only condition. So the entire family can learn and entertain as a unit. And there were days when we as a family went to theaters once in a while. And now the theaters are coming into the family rooms. So the influence has greatly increased now. There is an atmosphere of emotional well-being because all of you sitting together sharing similar experiences, whether it is of fun or fear, it improves your well-being. There are shared experiences, whether experiences of any horror or whatever. Co-viewing discussions. This is, I think, the greatest advantage of watching movie as a family, and especially if it is an extended family, you get openness of discussion from generations, from the children to parents to grandparents. And this adds to emotional expression and open discussions, change and refining of the belief systems, and so many other advantages. Building memories, which movie to select, where to go, what's next, all these things create a lifelong memories from the children, parents also. And most important, societal values and culture. When the family see the movie or serial together, I remember the days of lockdown when the old serials of Mahabharat and Ramayana were re-released, and suddenly then we're talking about Guruji, Mate, Brata. So I think it has a great influence on social bonding in entire family.
Thank you, Dr. Nima ma'am. And definitely whatever she described about Mahabharat movie and the Brataji, Dadaji, all words were in the routine practice when it was a COVID knockdown. The same emotional attachment, Brata Shri, Dadaji, they continued for a couple of years. But over a time, when the movie changed, the concept also changed in the adolescent mind. So are these movies, serials, series, they stress buster or stress boosters or both? Over to you, Satish sir. Can you highlight? Adolescent
Yes.
can reduce his stress or can increase the stress by looking at the movie. Over to you, sir.
So one important question visually I discuss with parents and try to give a message to the kids of any age, all age groups till they come to us like say 18, 19-year olds. That why do we have these movies to start with, and then we have now different OTTs, others things also. So the basically they were designed to sort of give us relaxation moments to entertain us. But there is a role reversal now. So there are two sides of a coin, like say they are both stress busters, like they reduce the stress, and they can be stress booster. They can increase your or enhance your stress. So if we talk about say busters, what actually reduces our stress? So if very well depicted by comedy movies or TV shows or serials, and there are several examples. But then the same thing can become a stress, because I have seen many kids, even adolescents, who are repeatedly looking at Tarak Mehta Undha Chashma, and they try to imitate various things. I had a boy, 12-year-old, who had an anxiety that he would choke on something. Like, say, he would see a coin and then he would start reacting to it. He would go into panic. Going deep into the history, it was revealed that he sees Tarak Mehta time and again. And then later I learned that it's a 24-hour kind of channel. You can switch on any time and have a look at Tarak Mehta. So he had seen one episode where one Mr. Bhide had choked on something and had become some serious illness. So I mean, this is the kind of thing that can happen. So a same thing which is working as a buster can also become a booster of stress. And then there are sci-fi movies and series, and there are mindless action thrillers. No, if you put your mind aside and look at those thrillers and these things, they do give you, a lot of relaxation. And then there are comedy horrors also. So these are sort of busters, but then there are more boosters, and some of the busters, as I've said, have converted themselves into booster also. So horror movies. Some of the actually movies which are not actually horror movies, they can also influence the adolescent mind in a bad way. Like, I had a girl, 14-year-old girl, who had seen a movie, some files, I will not name that. And then she had gone into a sort of anxiety disorder whereby she could not stand anybody of that community nearby. She wouldn't even go near to their locality, because if she passes from that locality, she would see some persons of that community. I mean, so much fear was induced by that movie to her. So of course, horror movies, I mean, these days young kids also, they hide behind the sofa and look at the horror movies with their parents are saying. And there are umpteen number of examples. And I've seen some fathers saying, and in horror movie ni bahut maja aave chhe. My child enjoys horror movies. Then they don't realize that the psychosomatic disorders that these adolescents and others have may have the root cause in some of the cinemas. Then unfortunate part is the glorification of villains and negative characters. Like Ketan Bhai started with Durandar poster. No? Why did he do that? Because it is sensationalizes the issue. So immediate reward system is working, and adolescent mind, as I say, they are a work in progress. So what happens? They see glorification of Durandar, all kind of bad traits that we observe in this kind of movies, like say Animal or Durandar, or many examples. I mean, several examples. They try to imitate. They try to live those experiences. And another thing which has happened in last one decade is normalization of abusive language. I mean, if you see some movies with even good, theme, the abusive cursive language is sort of normalized, and that can also cause a lot of friction among the adolescents. Movies inspired by true stories, as I know, they are oversensitized, I mean, over dramatized, and then they can lead to communal hatred also. And of course, body image issue, what the other panelist was talking about, Fair and Lovely and other things, no? Body image issues can also be a very, very big problem, and that can enhance the stress rather than reduce. I mean, we can talk unendingly on these issues, but I think we have more other issues to discuss. So over to you, Ketan Bhai.
Thank you, Satish Bhai. So both the things can happen to the adolescent, stress buster and stress booster, depending upon the what they are seeing. Now, over to you, Nima ma'am. Does these movies, they affect their creative and cognitive development? Does it impart a
Yes,
long-term changes? Over to you, ma'am.
yes, sure. Because all the things that we see and hear has a great audio-visual impact on our minds. It is actually a multi-sensory experience affecting the right brain, that is emotional brain, and the left brain, that is logical brain. It enhances the vocabulary, language learning, communication skills. It also helps to develop empathy and expression of feelings. And it nurtures imaginative skills because the way the topic is presented through any media, it enhances the imagination and critical thinking, creative thinking of any child. Children are able to analyze the complex plots like any suspense or any mystery. And there is also character motivation that strongly play character, like in the Milkha Singh. It really motivates any child.
enhancing the executive function, life skills. If you remember Life of Pi, how to survive in adverse condition, problem solving, decision making. It also inspire perseverance and set goals like in the 12th fail, develop resilience. So I think it is a very good medium if it is taken positively and created sensitively. It has a great creative cognitive development potential on children and teens.
Thank you, Nima ma'am. Definitely, the photograph which we have kept in the slide, they are a very good example of a good creative and cognitive development in adolescent. Super 30, a marvelous movie, how a simple physics teacher or IIT teacher can change the scenario of the country. Tare Zami Pe, definitely wonderful movie. Hichki and 12th fail. 12th pass, sorry. These are the examples of
12th fail,
creative,
sir.
12th fail, sorry.
12th
12th
fail.
fail. Yeah. Creative and cognitive development matters. Again, Asha ma'am, over to you. After seeing all these movies, आपको क्या लगता है वायलेंस इन द कम्युनिटी वायलेंस इन द एडोलेसेंट डू यू थिंक दैट वो ज्यादा बढ़ गया है ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है ओवर टू यू ऐशा मैम मैडम आप हैं मैडम ऐशा मैम आई थिंक शी इज नॉट
She
she
is
has
not there,
No,
sir.
no, she is there. She needs to unmute.
okay ऐशा मैम I'll just call her.
I call her. You can continue. Let me
Okay.
call.
See the negative impact, violence, definitely it has increased significantly. Even with the minor incidents, like 3 days back, I was just coming out from my parking area, and one adolescent was moving on two-wheeler with mobile on in his ears, and we just crossed each other, and he started abusing us. So they don't look at the respect, they don't look at the rules and regulation, and immediately the violence comes. So many examples in Ahmedabad, in Surat also, 9th standard student and 10th standard student, they fought with each other. Somebody brought the knife and had a penetrating spleen injury. So violence has increased significantly. Uncontrolled fight scenes are always there, and these fight scenes definitely damages their brain. And traffic rules are very horrifying. Looking to the Doom movie, people have started biking and they go for the race of the bike, and the rules are always broken down, very rash or reckless driving, and the incidence of accidents also increases, and unrealistic stunts. Whenever you see the bike, you are bound to see the stunts made by adolescents, and the criminal activity also increases. I think any other panelist would you like to add on the negative impact so far as violence is concerned? Shilpa ma'am.
Even the Ketan bhai, even though the motive of the producer is to inspire in some better way, but it depends on the taker, on the viewer, whether to get what impression from the movie. For example, in the rape that occurred in Arjikar hospital, it was said that the person, the perpetrator, he watched the movie Mardani 2. Actually, Mardani 2 was to show that no criminal can be free. But he took the inspiration of how brutal a rape can be. So that thing is to be interpreted from the point of the viewers.
Okay. Shilpa madam, would you like to add how does the behavior is affected by looking to the movie? Some part we have discussed. Can you just summarize?
Yes. Yes, sir. By seeing these movies, there is lot of aggression and violence which is being shown in the movies these days. and seeing that our adolescents also try to mimic those things because they feel it is of, when the heroes, so-called heroes, whom they consider like some great heroes of the society, they want to mimic them. So they also try to be try to show their masculinity, try to be violent and aggressive in their school, in their tuitions, in their colleges also.
Uh, Thank you, Shilpa ma'am. Another important drawback is the substance abuse. In Surat, I'm staying in Surat, and the substance abuse has increased significantly, which may be starting from a weed to morphine, cocaine, and it is available everywhere in part of the city. This is an off-label discussion, but so many things in the form of substance abuse, hookah bar, there are electric cigarettes also, smoking, all pan gallas, they are full with substances. So this also has significantly affected the problem. The beauty standards, what Shilpa ma'am has already said, I should look like an hero. My body should be six packs. The female want to be a thin and lean. All neurological disorders can come up with this. The irrational use of a protein powder in gym. The gym trainer himself prescribe or give them a protein powder, and that a high protein load can cause a significant renal issue also. And the unrealistic expectation do come that I should have six packs, I should make a stunt, I should be able to climb the staircase, I should be able to climb the high-rise building also. I can come down from the high-rise building like a Shaktiman. I remember that I had one child who mimicked like a Shaktiman in the swimming pool. He fell from a higher side and he was drawn into the swimming pool. So unrealistic expectations are again an important side effects of movie.
Ketan bhai, sorry to disturb. Aisha ma'am is back again.
Okay, Aisha ma'am. मैडम आप हेलो, आप कुछ बोलेंगे मैम? Aisha ma'am.
She has to unmute. She is not able to unmute herself. I just tried her and asked her to unmute again and again.
Samir bhai, can you call her and help her out? We continue with this.
I called
Sure,
her.
sure.
She said when she is speaking, she unmutes. પણ somehow આપણાને તો unmute થયેલું નથી જ દેખાતું. મારી વાત થઈ એમની સાથે.
I think we
Let's
can
see.
go ahead and at the end, if she can join, she can give her comments.
Comment. When you are viewing the movie, either you are enjoying or either you are missing the productivity. Can you highlight on these issues?
Hello. Yes, movies and series, I would say, are really very, very addicting for our adolescents. I remember when we used to watch serial, we used to watch one episode and then wait for one more week for the next one. But now when these episodes are watched as series, one episode after other keeps rolling on till sunrise most of the time, and their homework, their assignments are just lying under the blanket. So I feel because of these series, their studies are also getting affected. Moreover, whenever our adolescents they are watching these series, they also have to munch something crunchy along with that. So that leads to increased intake of junk food also. And also the time for the exercise, the sports is reducing because they find watching the series and movies more interesting. So, because of all this, obesity is very much increasing in our adolescents. If we look at the data, after the series have become popular, like since 2015, the rate of obesity in adolescents has increased from 3% to 9% in the present date. So, which is a very high significant increase in obesity. And also because of these watching lot of screen, their creativity is coming down. I would say like when I was in college, I had read the Harry Potter series. And when I was reading it, I was imagining it. But now children, they watch the movie of Harry Potter. So that imagination is not there. So their creativity is going down. Moreover, there is no boredom in the life of adolescents. Whenever they feel bored, they switch on, they play some movie, they play some series. So boredom is also very important for creativity, which is not there in life of adolescents in the present world. So I feel because of all this, their productivity is going down.
Very truly said, Dr. Shilpa ma'am. Productivity in terms of creative thinking, giving something new idea to the family, to the nation, significantly reduces. And with that, their health is also affected. And now the food delivery system, Zomato and everything has created a more problem. They order it in the bulk, 12 cokes and 10 packets of Lays and the wafers, and everything adds into the problem of their personal health also. The unrealistic expectation also comes with this. So a little bit discussion has been done, but Nima ma'am, would you like to highlight what
Yes.
really do we mean by unrealistic expectations? Over to you.
Yes. Our movie and series industry, it is mostly based on the formulas that increase the TRP viewership, that increase the income, that increase competition for getting included in 100 crore communities. So they are not showing the real values, culture, and real situations in life. They give a distorted image like of love and romance, luxurious lifestyles, body standards, as we have discussed, can feel college life. It is shown that you can enjoy just have fun, which is actually against the reality. All this causing great disbeliefs. Driving, smoking, even stalking, ladki ke peeche घूमना is being glorified and glamorized. Restricted gender stereotypes, misogyny, patriarchal societies, and greatly the area which has been greatly influenced by movies and serials is celebrations like marriages. Total, this marriage industry has been driven by this serials and movies, right from the dress codes, from themes of the marriages, reels, videography, greatly influenced by this, causing unrealistic expectation. शादी हो तो ऐसे ही हो, and this is causing a great socio-economical impact on our society. So there is so much of distortion from the reality served by the media.
Thank you, Nima ma'am. Very rightly said that the unrealistic expectation, which includes the beauty products, cosmetic products, and celebration of the festivals, celebration of birthday also, and celebration of marriages also. This increases the financial burden on the family also. The college life also becomes carefree. Looking to the movie, the entire college day is lost into the canteen or either in the garden. Cheating, chatting, everything goes on in the garden and in the canteen also. So these are unrealistic expectations which is imparted by movie on the adolescent mind. Now, what are the solutions? What is the role of pediatrician? Before Satish Bhai starts, I would request if Esha ma'am is again there, would you like to say कि क्या कर सकते हैं हम? Okay, madam, if you are not there, we'll just go ahead. Shilpa ma'am, can you highlight few points? Then we'll go to the Satish sir.
Yes, sir. I feel that in schools, media literacy education should be given to children and adolescents so that they learn how to differentiate between fiction and reality. And they also understand the manipulations which are done in the storytelling in the various movies and series, and critically analyze the behavior of different characters. So if such education is imparted to them in school, then the negative effect of these cinema can be brought down. And one more point I feel that there are strict guidelines, like there is a censor board for movies, but for OTT platform, such guidelines are not there. So, and there should be some digital media laws for the OTT platform, which should be followed very strictly. So these 2 points, I think, should be brought into notice.
Agree, Shilpa ma'am. So at authority level, certain things can be done. But what a pediatrician can do? Satish sir, can you highlight what is
Ketan bhai, Ketan bhai, can I just add on to what Dr. Shilpa has said?
Sure, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry for interruption, but just I would like to add that as parents, as pediatricians, and as a society, this is the era of 5G. We should remember 5G. One is gradual. All platforms should be very gradually introduced to the children, just like the beginning.
નીમાબેન તમારો વોઇસ
Yes.
બહુ જ ક્રેક થાય છે. Your voice is cracking a lot.
Okay, but I have connected through this my Bluetooth devices also. Is it okay
Just
now?
try to. Now okay. Just try it.
Okay. Okay. So it should be very gradual, right? Like the beginning food, it should be guarded. Certain things like violence, sexuality, it should not be shown to children. It should be guided, co-viewing by the parents and discussion. It should be graded according to the emotional maturity of the child. And fifth G is good role modeling by parents. Now, the censor board should also include some mental health professionals who could grade the media as more specific, like violence level 1, violence level 2, horror level 1, horror level 2. I think that may be the thing that we can add on or help these medias having less influence on our children.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So again, regulatory authorities, society can do better for these real life. Satish bhai, over to you. What is the exact role of a pediatrician?
After all the 1 hour discussion that we have been having, if I ask the audience here, if we take a poll, that so far we have highlighted the issues that we face as a society, as a counselor, as a pediatrician, or as parents, no? Did they not know any of these issues? Yes, everyone knows about it, that this is happening right in our front of our eyes. So I think this last question is the most important. It's a question to be pondered upon by all of us as pediatricians. See, I have put the point as it's a multi-pronged approach in context of various stakeholders. So there are various stakeholders like society as a whole, regulatory authorities, and we have some good examples like recently in the news was one very expletive, abusive, expletively shown, a song by Sanjay Dutt and other lady, and there was a huge, criticism about it, and they had to bring down that video. So society can actually, sort of enter into an activism against this. Then regulatory authorities, we know that some of the states have now come up with the idea or some regulations that this is the age beyond which they cannot be, below which they cannot see social media. Some countries have done that, but after all, the effect is minuscule, because there are so many loopholes when we talk about authorities. Then somebody asks whether AHA can be there on the body of censorship. I mean, that's a long sort of a vision to have a country where intellectuals are heard upon, clinicians are heard upon. No. So our, I think, focus should be what, as a pediatrician, what all 30 of us who are sitting here and discussing this can do. I think that is the one question we should all ponder upon. So what can a pediatrician do about it? Have a habit of giving anticipatory guidance to all age groups, starting from newborn or say even antenatal period. Make people, parents aware about what are the evils of screen time. So bring them from screen to clinic. I mean, that's the message I would like to give. That bring adolescents, young adults, parents from screen to clinic. Highlight these issues in your clinic through various platforms, like having a commercial display of certain videos or posters. Bring them that awareness that we are here, we as pediatricians are here We work as counselors also, and you can approach us for this. So announce yourself that you are dealing with this kind of issues. So it will bring about awareness amongst the parents and all the adolescents who visit us, that these are the issues which can be discussed, and good messages can be given. So reach out to adolescent, announce that you are available, and during your routine consultation or counseling, I would say routine consultation. Most of us are general pediatrician, and we see patients, adolescents, patients with lot of clinical or physical manifestation of mental health issues. If we dive deep into that, we find out what are the root causes. So pick up such cases, call them for a counseling session with a special appointment also. So I think these are some of the things which pediatrician can do. And of course, one panelist talked about reaching out to schools and doing sessions with the parents, and all that can also help. But we as a pediatrician minimally can do is right in our clinic.
Thank you, Satish bhai. Very rightly said the role of pediatrician in managing the adolescent. So in nutshell, what the message should go, I would request Dr. Shushma Madam and Dr. Piali Madam to give expert comment on movies, reels, real life and adolescent. Sushma Madam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Very good evening. It's always a pleasure being with my own family at home ground. And I first of all would like to congratulate the project in charge, Dr. Samir Bhai, and the office bearer of GAHA to choose a very unique and apt topic of high importance, always, maybe past, present, and in future. So what I am driving, I would like to drive at is why we are thinking more about the adolescents, and why we are talking on the impacts of media and other stuff, especially the cinema and serials, so visuals on their mind. Basically, the adolescents, they are highly impressionable age group, and whatever they see or observe, they take it on the face value, because they have barely developed any critical thinking skills, which is in the process. There is definitely an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex, which deprives them of sound judgment as well as the analytical thinking. It's very, very difficult for them to analyze the real versus unrealistic stuff. So they fall victim of so many hazards of the contents of visual cinema and serial. They have certain age related issues. They have, under the hormonal surge, they have newly acquired sexuality related thoughts, and that, push them towards or attracts them towards sexual contents of the cinema. As Dr. Satish Bhai very rightly pointed out about horror movies and horror serials, this adolescent would chuke also watch all those sexually explicit contents of the cinema or serial, because that give them dopamine surge, and there is a kind of pleasure seeking through observing such things. Characteristic high risk behavioral pattern leads to not only experimentation with the drugs, alcohol, and addictive substances, which are depicted as a kind of, which are probably glamorized in some of the cinemas. They are already attracted to such experimentation, and when they see in this cinema, they see around them, it's not just cinema, but the impact of cinema, which has led to the increased substance abuse all over, as Dr. Ketan Bhai was pointing out, that will induce them into a very, very early exposure to such addictive substances, leading to all kind of health hazards. Of course, we see the movies having races and all that. The hero wins the race and other stuff. There is no wonder we see speeding vehicles and thrill-seeking behavioral pattern being satisfied in adolescent, and meeting with serious road traffic accidents, which is the leading cause of death in adolescence. Faulty body image standards is a very, very burning issue, not only for the girls, but also for the boys and adolescents in general. What a body image issue can lead to is not unknown to all the learned pediatricians and adolescent physicians sitting over here. There's a havoc being created by such body image issues. See, basically, the dopamine surge they get, which is uncontrollable, probably due to poor controlling system in adolescence, that will push them towards watching harder and longer those contents which satisfy their dopamine surge. So this is a very, very important aspect of adolescent behavior, which has made probably OTT platform more and more popular amongst them. And as one of the panelists very rightly pointed out, they would watch the OTT throughout night, and that watching will become longer and harder. There is a big, impact on shaping of communication, manners, and skills, as well as relationship standards in this, growing minds of the adolescent who are, recently acquiring their psychosocial skills. It will create a big impact on their, and it is, we can see them talking like the movie characters, the arrogance and the back answering probably that they have got from some of the serials. We all know that. I'm not going to name it, but these are the things. Another important thing is the relationship ideas. Maybe it is a romantic relationship, or it's a relationship with the parents, the vindictive behavior, the unrealistic expectations, manipulations in the relations which they learn, not from our homes, but from the cinema and mostly the serials. There is an objectification which we have seen for so long now in them. Romancing with fantasy, and there is very unrealistic romancing ideas that has created, because of the want of time, I will not go into the examples, but there are ample examples which I have observed in some of my patients who are fantasizing the romantic relationships, and they end up having distressful and broken relationships. There is a sci-fi and psycho thriller movies. We all know how much they have done to the tender minds of adolescents. Of course, there are good sides of media, which already has been discussed very well by the panelists. I will not go into details of that. But I think that impact is such a small, portion that the hazards have always been observed as overwhelming. So what a pediatrician can do? See, basically, in short, Satish Bhai has very elaborately, explained about it. I would not go into detail of it, but to summarize that, it's very, very important for us to switch our role from observer to advocates. Pediatricians, we can play a very proactive role by asking about screen habits. Of course, during our consultative time, what are the contents that our adolescents and the children, it's not just adolescent, but the preteens and even the children, they are to be, asked about the screen time and what are the contents they are watching. Counseling parents on age appropriate content is very, very important. Not only that, our anticipatory guidance and counseling should include how to identify the media related behavioral red flags in their children and adolescents. This is extremely important because we see many behavioral problems in adolescents and preteens related to media. So teaching them and giving them an idea about the red flags is our domain. Parental mediation also plays a very pivotal role. Um, we need to encourage the parents, of course, practicing the co-viewing and discussion while co-viewing or immediately after watching the media or cinema. What was the contents, what are their take and what they have understood. If we keep on talking to them like that, because we cannot stop the media production, we cannot stop the contents which are objectionable, but we can definitely make them uh, think critically about what they are, what are the realistic there. So after watching, it's co-viewing is very important, and after watching any objectionable or even normal content, we need to think, we need to ask them about what is their take, what they have understood, and what they are, kind of thinking about that character doing that part of a things. That discussion will definitely give them good media literacy. I think these are some, of course, about the policies and other stuff. Definitely they are there, but it's a long run. And it's a big, I think, very small role to play, whatever we have seen so far. So thank you so much. I think that was something I would suggesting or would like to discuss about the media and the impact on adolescent mind. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. And it was an excellent discussion, Ketan. I congratulate you and the panelists about it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for a nice celebrative words and a discussion about the topic also. We really feel proud that you are the national chairperson of Indian Adolescent Health Academy. Over to you, Dr. Piali, ma'am. Would you like to say some?
Yes, Ketan bhai, thank you so much, and thank you to all of you for having me here. Sushma has very nicely elaborated almost everything. I would just like to point out that the cinemas, TV serials today are not mere entertainment only. You have to understand they are like parallel classrooms for the children, where the adolescents' minds, it shapes the young minds, how they think, how they feel, behave, or even aspire. I mean, it's like a ready-made script which influences their attitudes, their beliefs, everything. And this is like a ready-made script, as I said, which is a reference as to how they should behave or how they should not behave. Now, as Sushma was saying, there are several negative sides of this cinema. But remember, the stories that we heard, these stories are almost similar to them which they show. And they can be therapeutic as well. So what you expose the child from 5 years of age, whether he is watching Jungle Jungle Phool Khila Hai or Lion King or something of that kind, or Mowgli, that is how you expose the child, not with violent and aggressive films. उसमें तो co-viewing का कोई सवाल ही नहीं पैदा होता है 5 साल के बच्चे का. So what they do is they identifying, they are seeing themselves in that story, This is exactly how I feel. That is what they are identifying. Number 2, it is like a catharsis for them, If you remember, many of us have cried in several films and serials. So emotionalism, we are identifying emotions there, and sort of it is an emotional catharsis when we watch them. The third point is insight or understanding the problem. If you expose them rightly, then they will understand and develop coping strategies. The fourth point is modeling. They are learning new behavior. And last but not the least, they will think there If they can handle it, I can also handle it. And now reframing from why me to what did I learn from this. So all these things are like can be used like a medicine, like a prescription. And if this is there, then of course, the key issue is not exposure only. The key issue is unguided, unfiltered exposure actually. So as Sushma is saying, you can co-view, you can keep talking about how you felt when you saw this. Did you feel akin to any of these characters that were there? What did the story teach you about yourself? What did you feel? So all these things, so you must select the right story for them because they are not attuned to it. And then by talking them, tune their emotions into proper thoughts so that they reflect and they reflame. So the key issue I said is not viewing them, it is unguided and unfiltered viewing. So happy viewing to all adolescents, but proper viewing to all adolescents. That would be my part. The pediatrician uncle and aunt can make the mothers aware, the fathers aware, but it is for the parents to be the guide, the light for all these adolescents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piyali ma'am. So this was a very brief and crisp discussion about the movies and adolescent. I think we have almost crossed the time limit. I hand over the session to Dr. Samir Shah, sir. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, it's really great that we have to get such a insightful details by our panelists. And lastly, it's a icing on the cake is the about the by expert. They had excellently summarized what are the factors that ultimately affecting the positively or negatively, and it's totally depends on ourselves as a pediatricians. It's a responsibility of the parents as a co-viewing and co-supporting them, and ultimately it's responsibility of the society how to act and react on the movies and serials that what giving the message to us, and such type of the message how what message what we want to give to the our adolescents is totally depends on us only. So we will definitely continue the message what we want to go, and definitely in future we will take the part 2 of the our today's episode 2, so that it will be continuing for the further discussion in future. Over to the our chairperson Dr. Snehal ma'am.
I don't have words to thank each and every panelist, Ketan Bhai, for making a real Durandar show for all of us to cherish. Wisdom words from Sushma ma'am and Piyali ma'am, and expert uh, compilation and presentation by Dr. Samir Bhai. I thank all the viewers also, and unluckily, unfortunately, we could not hear Esha ma'am because of her network issues, but maybe some other time we'll have her views when we can accommodate her. So thank you again, everyone, for this excellent show, and looking forward to such interactions in near future again. And we'll be continuing with the monthly webinar series. Do join us every time because we are trying to bring the innovative episodes month after another. Do join us. Thank you so much, and good night, everyone.
Thank you
And
so
almost
much.
all the questions already taken by our panelists and moderator and experts. So there is nothing more to take in the question answer session also. So thank you, because we are already crossing the line of the 10:15 and it's almost 10:25 now. So it's a
Thank you.
great
Thank you,
pleasure, and
everyone.
we will meet again on the 15th of the April. That is the third Wednesday of every month. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Very
Good
good.
Thank you.
night.
Good
Good
night.
night,
Thank
all.
you. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night,
Good night.
everyone.
There's a suggestion, Snehal Ben and Samir by both. Uh,
Good night. Thank you.
There is a suggestion, Snehal Ben and Samir Bhai both. Next time when we take up this discussion, we will
Thank you, ma'am.
include case-based discussion, the real life cases on how do they present and how do we manage them. This is what is going to help us in our clinical practice. So probably that will be more helpful as a part 2, which Samir Bhai was telling just now. So let us frame that webinar in this way. Okay. Thank you so
Sure, ma'am.
much. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Okay. Good night.
Sure, ma'am. Suggestion well taken.
Thank you.